That's right. We need to go. Okay, welcome everybody to the Montpelier Public Board of Works meeting and Stormwater meeting, September 11th, 2024. I'd like to say a quick prayer before we get started. Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for our community. We pray for your help and direction in this meeting and just all that we're doing. We pray you'd help us build up our community and pray for your guidance. It's in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
And I guess we need to start off by recognizing 9/11. This is the day, terrible, tragic day, 23 years ago, and we had a nice ceremony this morning at the Blackford Courthouse, so recognizing that. But certainly a day of tragedy, but also a day of that responded with the United States coming together and working together, and I thought that was really cool. At that point there was no more Democrats and Republicans. They were just Americans, and we worked together, and the response in faith too was kind of cool because the churches just filled up after that, and it was like sometimes it takes a crisis to spark a spiritual renewal like that. So we don't want that to happen again, but hopefully by remembering it, maybe we can just remember and make that changes without. So we certainly could work together. Unity is strong, makes us stronger. When we bicker and fight against each other, we just divide and makes us all weaker. Okay, call to order. Get my sermon here.
Gary Blumenhurst.
Here.
Mayor Neff.
Here.
Robbie Bunch. To be here.
Yeah, he'll be here later.
Cameron Bonowet.
Here.
Chief Snyder.
Here.
Okay. All right, and we have the agenda as presented here. Rick Miller from MS Consulting has requested to be moved ahead. So I don't think there's any issue there. I think after the minutes, I think we should just move him up. And but aside from that, do you have approval of the minutes or approval of the agenda?
Yeah, I do. I'll make a motion.
All right, and I guess I'll second it, and well, all in favor. So
Aye.
then the minutes are given to us as well. Any corrections? And do you want to make a motion to just accept that minutes as presented?
I'll accept. I'll make a motion.
Okay, now I'll second it. So, okay. Oops, so we have to sign these. And Mr. Miller.
Thank you. We had our progress meeting right before this for the stormwater project that's going on right now. Lost my train of thought. Asphalt should be milled tomorrow. They're bringing in the milling machines, the grinders. They'll start milling tomorrow. The 19th, I believe it is the day that they're going to start laying the first of the base asphalt down. So just as an FYI to all the constituents that there's going to be a bunch of trucks running around grinding out asphalt and putting down new asphalt. So things are starting to come back together and button up. All the pipe is in the ground. All the inlets are in the ground. They're also working on seeding and strawing, so they're working on that, grading areas out behind the sidewalks. All the concrete sidewalks and curb ramps are poured. The open swale down at the Ball Diamonds has been graded and it's been grass seeded and stuff. So we're coming to the end of the project. It's basically over the next 45 days or so. There'll be grinding and asphalting the roads and putting things back together. Should weather permitting be done middle of October with laying of the asphalt.
Good, good.
So
All right.
probably wrap everything up at the November board meeting, all the paperwork, unless we get 2 weeks of rain and really pushes everything back. But should theoretically be done with all the work before the end of October. With that being said, I have our pay app that was talked about at the last meeting. So I'll need a signature on that. And that amount for this month is $688,289.26. So I will need a motion and a signature on that one.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, all right, and I'll second it, so.
And then I will also have a change order number 3 for the project. It incorporated some time extensions, castings, and some quantity adjustments, things that they've encountered as they've been digging. We found pipes that nobody knew that pipes were in the town, and we've had to deal with some of that stuff, so those are in here. That is for an increase, comes out of the contingency money, goes over into the project, of $85,956.75. So I will need a motion and a signature on change order 3, so I can get this submitted to SRF and get their approval.
You want, I'll note your motion, okay, give your motion, I'll second, okay, we're all set.
That is all I had. Is there any questions that I might be able to answer?
So, everything so far at this point, hopefully mid-October to be finished, and we're out all asphalt and everything, so we're just basically, everybody's out of town and we're done.
Yeah.
That's the weather permitting and all
Hopefully,
that, right?
like I said, as long as we're not having a lot of rain, you know, of course, we are headed into fall and you could get some rainy days and you
Right.
can't pave in the rain.
Yeah,
But knock on wood, that if everything holds,
yeah,
they should be all demobed and out of here by, just call it Halloween,
okay.
the
good,
end of,
good.
the end of October.
That'd be great.
That's
yeah.
the goal as it stands right now,
Good.
unless something mysteriously happens.
Okay,
But all the pipes in the ground, we shouldn't be digging around, we shouldn't be finding anything,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
yeah, yeah,
There will be some big rollers going around that
Right.
could shake a few things loose. We're hoping that that doesn't happen, but if everything stays together, we should be done paving the second or third week in October, and like I said, by the end of October, they should be backed up.
okay, good, good.
So
Very good.
if that changes, I'll be letting you know at the October board meeting.
Yeah, well,
But-
that'd be the goal though, so hopefully the October board meeting will be.
I
talking
don't
about finishing
foresee
it.
any problems right now.
Okay.
Because like I said, we're done digging, we're done,
Mainly weather.
it's mainly weather, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right,
yeah,
Robbie. It's mainly weather,
Yeah, okay,
so.
very good, okay, all right, thank you.
Does anybody have any questions?
So your hookups are done? Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
all-
the last one.
the last inlet was put in right here by the Speedway gas station. They just waited for NDOT to grant them the approval, which,
Now it's just fix everything.
yeah, it's just putting everything back together. All the sidewalks and all the ADA ramps, I believe, is all in.
Good.
It's really just, we'll do have
A
a
little bit of yard work and asphalt.
yard work, asphalt, and then there'll be a change order number 4, probably at the November meeting, because they'll still be working after the October meeting.
Yeah.
But probably in the November meeting, there'll be a final quantity adjusting change order, which will just balance everything out. It's kind of like balancing your checkbook. If you put in 5 feet less of this pipe, but you put 7 feet more of this pipe, then you just got to go through and you got to balance each line item out. So that should take care of the project,
Okay,
so. All right,
okay, all right, thank you.
So we should get more water down at the river, shouldn't we?
yes.
Hello?
I'll get him to sign, I'll scan it to you, I told him to sign.
Oh, okay, all right. Do I need to get ourselves out of ourselves, but we're gonna look at it over and sign it.
I'll get you one of these tomorrow
Okay.
for your records. I'll scan it and send it to Aaron. He took off. I told him. It's not, he took off.
Okay, well, thank you.
Questions?
I think, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me go a little early.
Yes.
You guys have a great, great meeting.
Okay, thanks.
See you later.
Yep. Call me if you need me.
Okay. All right. Okay. Department heads, got Rob?
Well, I don't have a whole lot. We'll start with sewer. Here in just a few minutes, we'll be receiving our final delivery of chemicals out to the ponds. Here in the end of October, we'll stop disinfecting. We don't have to disinfect from the beginning of April to the end of October. So that'll save us a little bit of money there. Last thing for sewer, it was okay to replace the check valves and the other valves out at the industrial park lift station a few months ago. Cooley Construction finally got to that Monday. They've been very busy. Already, I just noticed that the pump run times are less now. Found out one of the check valves was stuck in the open position, so after the pump would shut off, the sewage would actually just run back into the pump, so it was actually pumping it over and over again. So that will help out on electricity bill
Okay.
out there.
Yeah,
I know that's
that's good.
something you've been
Oh,
looking
yeah.
into, is
Yeah, I've been
electricity
watching that
consumption.
close.
We'll move on to the water. I think it was actually our last meeting that morning, our well pump number 2 for the water blew a fuse. It's something we've been dealing with for a while. We've had our pump company come in and check it before. It says it has a dead short, which means it shouldn't be running, but it does. And we changed the fuses. They've actually supplied us with a lot of fuses, because those fuses are around, what, $18, $20 a piece, if you can find them. By the, I think 10 o'clock that night, it blew again. So, and it was getting towards the end of its life expectancy. So when we agreed to go ahead and have that replaced, that was a cost of $15,500 for a new pump. We got the pump, the motor, new wiring, basically replaced everything. We had to do 2 well samples on it, got everything back, it's back in service. So far, I haven't had any issues, so that's been taken care of. Of course, we made it on Facebook here Labor Day weekend. Saturday night, September 1st, I got a phone call from Kevin Smith, one of our police officers. We had water running down the street at Green and Standard Oil Boulevard. I got down there, we had water blowing up probably a foot out of the ground. 11 o'clock at night, there wasn't a whole lot we could do. Water plant was keeping up with it. I cleaned off a couple catch basins that the local construction company had those coconut mats to keep debris off of. That way we drain the water better. Come back in about 7:30 in the morning, started making phone calls. Of course, holiday weekend, it was a Sunday, it's kind of hard to get a hold of anybody. Between me and you, we got a hold of Rick Ramsey. Started to get stuff shut down. Unfortunately, ended up shutting down most of the town. Once we got shut off, it was fairly easy to get it fixed. I want to thank Gary and Cam Lytle for coming in and helping. Once we got everything shut off, took about an hour to fix it, got the water turned back on. Fortunately, that caused a boil advisory. Being a holiday weekend, it took a few extra days to get samples taken in, but fortunately, the water was good, so we was able to lift the boil advisory like on Tuesday, I think it was.
I think Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that was that. When VTF was digging across the street here, by Speedway. They come across a sewer line we did not know was there. When they got through the sewer line, we actually found another water leak. That was not as bad as the previous one, so they was able to fix that one live, so we didn't have to shut anything down. Tomorrow will be the first full day of seeing our consumption. We'll see how bad that leak was. The previous one on Labor Day, that was, I'm guessing, about 150,000 gallons a day. We will let that continue to leak. So we'll see about how much that one is. That's about all I have.
Okay.
I answered this.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, okay, thank you.
The leak is what we pump a day. The
Yeah.
leak is what we pump a day, 150,000
Yeah,
gallons.
yeah, that's true. It was a huge pipe. Yeah, it was a huge pipe, so. Yeah.
what caused the leak?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was the construction. It was, they were in the area. They don't admit this, the construction company, but all their equipment going over that area, caused it to break.
Said a tamper thing, I guess.
Yeah, so, yeah, so that's, yeah. So, all right. Okay, and Cameron?
Well, basically we got everything from the Jamboree all put up and stowed away for the year till next year, and I think we're gonna do a few different things next year, just improvements in our signs and stuff. And we had a small little accident this year with one of our signs. I think we're gonna go with a little bit smaller stuff and not quite as heavy, make it a little easier on the guys. Installed all new lights downtown, got that all done, all new rope lighting around the downtown buildings and stuff.
I'm getting a lot of comments on that. People really like it.
Yeah, it looks pretty nice downtown.
Yeah, it does. It looks really nice.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know, Mary, have you heard about that project? Okay, all right, okay.
I was waiting for it.
Oh, okay, all right, well, good, okay.
just finished it up on
Downtown.
Monday this week.
Alright,
Installed 2 new electric boxes down on High Street for when they have like downtown little small festivals on
Oh,
High
good.
Street. They should be hooking them up today or tomorrow.
Yeah, good.
Hooking up the main power to them. We got that all ready to go so they can use those. And we've been making some improvements down at the Fireman's Park. We did all around the new playground equipment. Put a new footer edger around it. Put on new pea gravel and got rid of a lot of the old. And just looks a little nicer, for
Oh,
the kids
yeah.
to play in. It's a little
100%.
softer, and
Well, it was just a bed of weeds before.
it pretty
and
much
it
was a bed of weeds.
So now it looks real
Yeah.
nice, yeah.
Installed 2 new dog cans down there. So what they are is like dog, trash cans. They got little signs on them. We have bags in there for them, and
Yeah.
I think we got, I don't know, 10 rolls of bags that came with the signs. And we'll, just ask people to pick up their dog waste, and it's not good to step on it.
Right, yeah.
Got that in down there, and we've been making some improvements down here at the Baldwin Park. Right now, we're still working on putting a roof on the gazebo. We got it about halfway done, then we got pulled off and did some other stuff. Been kind of waiting around on metal for it. We're gonna probably try to start back up on it the rest of this week.
Are we able to get free metal on that, or no?
I haven't got a
No.
call back.
Okay, all right, okay,
So,
all right.
I haven't got a call back on it, but
okay.
I got everything figured out what we need and
Okay.
supply wise. Put new mulch in down there around the playground equipment. We had 2 loads brought in from Outdoor Concepts, and we're there in Bluffton. It's full enough for now. I mean, we're gonna be getting a new perk hopefully in the next couple of years roughly. So we might address it again next year, put another load in, but. It brought it up a little thicker, a little easier for the kids to play on and not get hurt. It was getting pretty raggedy down there with the dirt and stuff. We're gonna paint the gazebo down there. I got 2 gallons left of stain from the shelter house up at the other gazebo. We're gonna go ahead and stain all that just to make it look nice for the year. And I think we're gonna put 2 lights on the gables of each side, and we're gonna put a little 8-footer up inside the gable of the roof of the inside of the shelter for nighttime,
Okay.
just to supply some light, kind of,
Right.
that way people ain't hiding down there and stuff, kids trying to damage stuff. Mowing, I mean, mowing's slowing down right now. We've been just kind of, I think we're going at least every week and a half now. We've been trying to mow the downtown stuff. It's definitely slowed down a lot, pretty much working on the ball diamond out there. I mean, we got a little bit here. We got a tournament coming up the 21st, I think.
Right.
And we're gonna start dragging the fields out there tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next first of the week. We're gonna drag all the fields and get them ready to go. But pretty much just staying busy and trying to get some stuff done. So I think that's it.
Well, I gotta say, Rob, you and Cam, you guys have both done great work lately. I really appreciate you coming in Labor Day weekend and fixing that, and then Cam, appreciate all the good work you're doing down in the parks. Makes them look really good.
Appreciate it.
So, and the lights. So.
Jeff Lancey commented on the lights last night.
Oh yeah. Well, it was actually Jeff's idea. He's the one originally came to me and told me about
Everybody's
that.
gonna want them on all their buildings now.
I know. Yeah. Well, we can tell them where to buy them at.
Who to get to put them
Yeah,
up?
that's right. That's right. Yeah. So, but yeah.
Some of them buildings were kind of tall.
Yeah. So, all right. Very good. Very good. Okay. And Chief Snyder.
He's asleep.
Well, don't wake him. He's responding to a text.
What's that?
Oh, he did too. You're up.
Yeah, well,
He was asleep.
what's the deal for a second here? Camera went wacky.
Uh-oh.
Anybody read any good books lately or anything?
Yeah. Well, I could go ahead and get Bob's report. He just emailed me. Well, you're getting ready. Bob King, Fire Chief, he said that they are on Thursday the 19th. They are going to have some new radios to demo, Harris radios, and they will get those. And if they like them, then they may be looking to purchase those after that. I think he must be talking to you. Is that correct?
I'm sorry.
Is Bob King talking to you about the radios and so
Yes.
forth? Okay, all right, yeah, so they went on 72 total runs, 42 being EMS runs. And they're getting ready to put a siren in on the back of the station. That should be done. They've been working on that for the last 2 years. And also they'll be putting out flyers for a hog roast for a fundraiser for October 26th. So that was his report.
Well, that's perfect timing.
Yeah.
Put that down there so it doesn't fall over. Yeah, you're welcome. I just noticed that Gary wasn't here.
Yeah. He's
You're quiet.
yeah, I know. That's right. Yeah, Gary had a work meeting that he had to go to. So he normally is off on at this time, but this was called and they told him that he had to go to it. So that's
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to see you all. I mean, I'm starting to get to the age where it's just a pleasure to be able to see. So
yeah. There you go. That's right.
I guess what I told you, the joke was there when I turned 55 is they said, I said I'm the same age as the speed limit, and they said the highway or the interstate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't win any points with anybody.
No.
Run sheets for the month. It was actually a pretty light month looking at it. And I'm not shocked by that. School's back in, so our call volume does start to drop a little bit. It's been a busy year with juveniles. I don't know what the dynamic is, but it's not just us. It seems to be everywhere that juvenile calls are up. Does anybody have any questions about anything on there that they see or of concern for them? They'd like to ask questions about? Mary?
Do we need any parenting classes?
Yeah.
Can't go there.
Yeah, so any other questions that I could answer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt, Mary. I mean, you're never too old to learn something new, right? I'm trying to answer that as diplomatically as I can. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, all right. If nobody else has anything, I have a pretty light agenda here of things to talk about. You alluded to the radios. I have been in a kind of a multi-person text or three-way text with Bob King, Chief Bob King, and Nicole from Harris Radios. They said they should have the radios ready to bring to us to try out, or for the fire department to try out, and me just to kind of oogle over next Thursday, I believe it is, the 19th.
Okay.
Bob's not able to meet with them, so she's going to drop those off to me. She also let me know that they have a programming session taking place down in Plainfield on, I believe it was the 17th and 18th, next Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make that. I've already got a commitment on Tuesday, so I'll probably have to sit that one out and try to find another time where I can get with their folks and go over their software and so on. And I don't know if it's like Motorola required me to attend their online programmers class in order to get the software and all that stuff to maintain my ability to do that. I don't know if Harris is that way or not. Again, we're still kind of in the infancy of the radio thing with the fire department. Again, we talked about looking at some of the things and how this could be the best fit for them for the price point. We're going to find out, but if we do get the radios from them, I'll go to every effort to do what I have to do to get where I can program those radios and make changes locally if we would have to, as opposed to having to hire that out by someone from Harris to do that for us. So stay tuned for more updates on that. Trying to think if there's anything else. Hiring process, we're coming along. We've got some applicants in the hopper. We did, as Brad knows, or I should say Brad did, swear in two special part-time officers for us. And I know Mary's going to want the names. And it's Jonathan Guffey, currently working for the Eaton Police Department, and Brian Watson, who's a part-time officer with Knightstown Police Department, that's going to come up and work for us, do some work up here as well. Both of those officers
Y-A-N or I-A-N?
I'm sorry?
B-R-I-A-N?
Yes, B-R-I-A-N.
Knightstown.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So things are looking up there a little bit. We're starting to get more help to alleviate our shortfall with manpower here. As I reported at the last meeting and at the council meeting, we'll do everything we can to get as many blue uniforms on the street as we can, just to make sure there's accountability there to the community. The only other thing I have is a situation we had last week. I guess I need to bring this up. It's not something I really would like to, but we do need to address it. I believe, just to make sure that everyone's aware of the circumstances and what's being done to prevent this from happening in the future. Last Thursday, we had some folks here in town that were following a vehicle that they believe could have been an impaired driver or somebody that was ill behind the wheel of that vehicle, was traveling over the roadway, all over the roadway, using both lanes of it to try to navigate through. And as they made their way through town, they called 911 to the dispatch center, lodged their concerns with the dispatcher that received the 911 call. They followed the vehicle for a little while. It ended up parking uptown. Fella got out of the vehicle, went into one of the stores. That's what I found out later. But it was about, apparently from what I'm gathering from the information that I'm able to obtain from the sheriff's department, 15 minutes later, I got a phone call from the parties that made the 911 call, asking if we had an officer that could come up and check out this person. And then it was relayed to me at that time that the 911 call was made. And again, checking the records, it was in fact about 15 minutes after that 911 call was received that I received that call on my cell phone. Again, not from dispatch. So that 911 call never got relayed to our agency for a response. By the time that I showed up there at their request, it was about 15 minutes after the fact. That's, I think, by any standards, that's unacceptable. We're talking. They felt it was serious enough to call 911 for. Then there should have been an immediate response. And again, as I tell the public and anyone who asks, what they say, what's the, appropriate use for 911? Well, don't order pizza from it. That's not okay. But my position on the 911 is it's not my place to tell someone using that or in need of that service what an emergency is. What I perceive as an emergency might be different than what they see it as. So call 911 if you feel that if there's an emergency and there's a need for immediate response from police, fire, EMS, and we're going to come. We'll make the assessment at that point in time what we need to do going forward. But it's not. I don't feel it's our place to try to determine what's an emergency. So with that, again, I notified the Board of Works members and the mayor of the circumstances around the situation and asked that the chief dispatcher at the sheriff's department and the sheriff launch a kind of an investigation into this to find out where the lapse was at. And I still don't have a final response on that yet, but preliminary indications were that it just obviously didn't happen. Now, the circumstances surrounding it, we don't know yet. So that's what we're still waiting on. So I hope to have more of an update for you. I was able to obtain, by request, copies of the radio traffic to the dispatch center, as well as the 911 calls that were made. And in an attempt to even let me back up just a little bit, kind of give you kind of a step-by-step after the phone call come in. As I was leaving out of the police department, I got on the radio and asked dispatch if they had received a call from these folks about this particular incident. After kind of an elapsed period of time, I got a response, so I asked them again. I was told there was no call made, or they did not receive one. After arriving on the scene and addressing the situation, which by the grace of God alone turned out to be a false alarm. The fellow was fine. He was texting, playing with his phone at the time he was driving, which he was counseled on that. I took the original caller's phone and called 911 myself, just to ensure that the phone was in fact operating properly and that it was going to our dispatch center, and it did. At which time I asked the dispatcher if they'd received a prior 911 call from this phone within the last 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever. Again, I was told no, they did not. We're finding out that that's not the case. So again, at the request, my request, I had asked the sheriff and the chief dispatcher to look in that. We're still trying to get to the bottom of that, and I'm eagerly awaiting to see what their findings are. Again, I bring this up just to let folks know that if there is not a response from us after a request is made, continue to call back over and over and over until someone shows up. I do not want for 1 second for the public to believe that we're delaying response to any need for services from our agency. That is absolutely false, and it would not be tolerated by myself, and I'm sure this board sitting before you, they would not be okay with that. The public deserves better than that. Again, as I told the chief dispatcher, I don't expect perfection. Perfection is not something we're going to get in this lifetime, but I do expect us to strive for excellence, to do better. And as I've come before this board before to tell you, this is not the first time this has happened. We've had these kind of things in the past happen, and those matters have been addressed too. We still haven't reached that mark yet. So I don't come in complaint. I just come in hopes that we can at some point reach that higher standard that we expect, that you expect, that the public expects, and that's all I'm looking for.
So, thank you, and again, it being 9/11, it's 911 and 9/11. We are honoring our first responders, and I want to say thank you for your service. You put your life on the line for our community and for all of your officers that you have under you, and we appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate that, and as much as I guess all I can say to that is I appreciate the opportunity to serve the public and everyone. It's an honor. It's not one that everyone is made to be. I don't consider myself anything special. I just answered a call.
Well, we appreciate you answering the call.
Yes, we do.
Does anybody have any questions that I can answer or anything? If not, I'm gonna
Nope,
cut it short.
that's good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Just wanted to add on, we have active shooter training at the police department Friday at 9 o'clock. We're closing City Hall for the training.
Yes, so, is everybody on our staff supposed to go to that? Or is
Yes,
that- so-
everyone,
okay,
I want
so you guys are-
everyone there.
okay, all right.
Who's sponsoring that?
IPAP,
What's that?
Indiana Public Employees Support Program.
Yeah, I can't remember what the last one's for.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah,
State agency then.
yeah, 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 so,
So that's when, Friday at what?
this
9
Friday.
o'clock at the police department.
Yeah, so will
We hope to be back open about noon-ish.
So this building will be closed.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, all right, well, utility issues by mail. Well, we have, the Bleakies who had a problem, but I think that we'll have to talk about that next month then, because they've got no
Yeah,
issues
that,
this
yeah,
month.
we haven't read that one yet.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be like 400 gallons that might have been used.
Okay, all right, well, I guess we'll table that till next month. Then, the apartments at 207 South Main had a major water leak. And apparently they replaced every toilet in the
Yeah, I
building.
think that was toilets.
Yeah, that's good, yeah, that's good, so.
And that's what usually happens up there. That used to be Hartman's
Yeah,
apartments.
right, okay, good, well, ask Michelle about this, and we don't have an adjustment at this point, but typically, when there's a water leak, we just adjust it back to adjust the sewer part back to the average. So I would suggest we just go ahead and do that. Do you have any issues with that, Gary, or do you wanna make a motion, do we do that?
Yeah, I'll make a
Okay.
motion.
Okay, I'll second it, so.
What is average?
Well, Michelle didn't know that off the top of her head, but I guess we'll have to get back to her on that.
I think up there it's kinda all over the place.
Okay, all right, but yeah, we'll have to get back on that. Then, the Hava Auto Repair has been charged for sewer, and they're not connected to the city sewer. So we're gonna need to refund their money. And is that the correct number? Is that correct?
That's for.
Is it the sewer, or is it the?
Pool fill, water adjustment, Jerry Williams,
Oh, okay.
and then Hava.
Well, that's, okay.
That's the total for all three of them.
Okay, these ones already done, we've done these.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they
So
were
that
like a
was-
couple $100, something like that.
Okay, all right, okay. Okay, and then, got the claims docket that, was signed. Do you have a motion to?
I'll make a
accept that?
motion.
Okay, and I'll second it. And new business, we have property standards. Letters went out last month, to certain properties requesting that they make, the changes necessary to, otherwise we will, and I've been in contact with our attorney about the process, but next letter will be, actually, I think, a fine with it if they don't make the adjustments. And then after that, we'll take them to court, and we'll actually have to do the work ourselves, but, that's, we have a couple properties that probably potentially may need to be tore down. And then a couple other properties just have junk all over the yard, so, I'm not gonna say tore down because the house on the corner of Adams and High is getting totally remodeled, and I would have sworn that needed tore down. So I think just about any house can be saved after seeing that
They're
one.
inside now, they're working now.
Are they? Okay, good. Yeah, that's
It
exciting.
looks nice on the outside.
Yeah, it does. They do great. They've done a great job. But we're asking people to clean up their houses, and,
So that was the second letter that you sent?
we've sent the first letter.
Okay.
And I'm in contact with the attorney regarding the second letter. He's gonna write that for us, and we'll go from there.
How many letters did we send out?
You know, I believe it was 7. I don't have that number. I think it was 7 though. And, oh, the heat.
We still have to decide on that.
Yeah, there was a furnace, the fire station needs a new furnace, or no, not furnace, a space heater in their garage. And, we've got a couple bids on that. We had Gary, Cagle actually objected to one of the vendors, so, we're still in the process of getting that. I think we can still get another month before we can make that adjustment.
I thought he had an idea about that too, so.
Yeah, so I'll get with him on that. All right. And then, is there anything else anybody needs to talk about? Okay, I guess, short meeting, so do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Okay, I'll second. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.